Hello everyone, JammyJet here. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 most anticipated games for 2015. Now first of all, I was going to do a video on the top 5 worst games of 2014 as I did the best 5, but I thought that it would be quite hard for me to come up with top 5 games that I genuinely disliked, as I haven't really played any bad games. I don't tend to buy games if I hear bad press about them at launch, so the only really game that I would actually probably be able to legitimately put on that list would be Assassin's Creed Unity, only because of its bugs and glitches, not as opposed to it being a bad game. It's more disappointing as opposed to bad. It's actually generally a good game underneath the masquerade of just general awful bugs and glitches and terrible support from Ubisoft in general. But other than that, I want to talk about the best 5, or the games that I'm most looking forward to that comes out next year. Obviously this is my opinion, and there's a couple of games I want to talk about first that aren't on the list, generally because I'm not into the series as a whole, and the next game in the series will probably have a little interest doing. Those two games are Witcher 3 and Metal Gear Solid: Phantom Pain. Now these two games are probably really good games. In fact, they look really good, and they're probably games that will get me into the series if I get around to playing them. The only reason I'm not really excited about them is because I haven't played a previous Witcher game and haven't played a previous Metal Gear Solid game prior to this, so I've got really no previous knowledge of the series, and I can't really recommend them or say I'm excited for them in general. They're probably games I'll pick up later in the summer when they've gone down in price and end up really liking them, so who knows. But that's just something I wanted to say as well. I've got a few honourable mentions. The first one being Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now this game looks really good. I love the Uncharted games to pieces. The Uncharted trilogy is probably one of my favourite game series of all time. It's really great, and the reason I loved Tomb Raider on PC, the reboot, so much is because it was literally Uncharted for PC, and I thought that was amazing. But it's not on the list just because, unfortunately, it's PS4 exclusive only. I don't own a PS4. I probably won't get a PS4, so I won't ever be able to play it. So it's unfortunate, really, because it probably is going to be a really good game. So that's a shame. Another mention is No Man's Sky. I've heard this is getting a PC port. It looks pretty interesting. I'm not particularly fond of flight simulator games or flying games in general, just because I find them really, really ridiculously hard to control and just play in general. But No Man's Sky looks to be a really great looking game. It looks really impressive graphics wise. The gameplay looks different. It looks like it's a really interesting just indie game in general. The final mention, drumroll please for the honourable mentions, is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now there's a seriously big reason this isn't on the list. Spoiler alert, it's a timed exclusive for Xbox One.
What the fuck?
Yeah. This would be coming out in 2015 in December for Xbox One, but it's not going to hit other consoles like PC and PS4 until 2016 at the earliest, because it's a timed exclusive. So maybe that will make my top 5 games for 2016, because Tomb Raider, the first game, was such a good game. Seriously, like, I was not expecting it to be a good game. I heard about it and I was like, wow, I need to play this game. It was literally Uncharted on PC. I loved it so much. It was really fun. It had a nice open world that you could explore. There was some cool crafting mechanics and survival skills that were implemented really well, and I think it's a great start for the new reboot series, which it's a good direction that they're taking the series in, so I can't wait to see what that turns out like. But now, the top 5 most anticipated games. At number 5, this is a really mixed decision, because I'm sort of umming and ahhing about this game. I don't know what to think of it, but it just looks so good, and it's like the child in me wants to escape, and it's Assassin's Creed Victory. It just looks like, I'd say the last few Assassin's Creed games, personally for me, haven't been that great. Black Flag was probably my favourite Assassin's Creed game, but other than that, I haven't really enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games that much. Black Flag felt really refreshing. It felt like they'd sort of taken some ideas from even Far Cry, the open world, the island ideas, just being able to travel from different places. I thought that was really well implemented in Black Flag, and then it just felt like step down to Unity. Unity was a good game, but it just wasn't as open. There wasn't as much to do, and it just felt like you were just being boxed in again after having that massive open world. You were just suddenly in Paris, and you're just in a closed off street, and there's not really anything to do. And then you have all the glitches and bugs that were just associated with that game. And the only reason this isn't lower down the list is because of all those issues that Unity had. If Unity had been a successful launch, hadn't had all the patches, bugs, glitches, God knows how much shit revolving around it that Ubisoft just half-assed ported it over to PC, Assassin's Creed Victory would have probably been like number 2 on this list, because it just looks really cool. It's a cool concept. I live in the UK, so naturally I'm really excited to see an Assassin's Creed game coming to the UK. Also, climbing up Big Ben. Who doesn't want to do that? Assassin's Creed Victory is currently my wallpaper on my computer because I'm actually quite excited to see what they do. I'm just hoping that it's not a really shoddy port and Ubisoft have learnt their lesson. AAA companies do this a lot and they just slap games onto PC because they know they can get away with it. Nobody's going to bat an eyelid, and I think it's about time people really just sat down with Ubisoft and went, this isn't acceptable. We don't, you're pushing the customer aside and you need to sort of put them first because that's how you get your money. You're getting money from these people. They're paying. If they didn't buy your game, you'd be broke. You would be out of a job, and they need to think about that. They obviously haven't when they released Unity. They didn't think about that at all. It's slightly unfortunate. But there you go. That's why I'm kind of excited for Victory. It would be further down if it hadn't had all those issues in the last game. But there you go. Number 4. Now this is also another sort of really interesting choice because this game is technically already out, but it's only coming to PC this year, and that is GTA 5. I haven't played GTA 5. I own a PS3. I didn't pick it up on PS3 deliberately because I knew the definitive version would be coming out on PC. It will be modded. People would mod the graphics. They'd make it look amazing, and it would just be damn right awesome. GTA also runs on pretty much anything. You can run it with a dual core processor. You can run it with pretty much anything. The minimum specs for the game are super duper low. Like really, they're really low, and that's a good thing because it means that low end people can play it. And then GTA has just had a massive previous history of being modded the hell out of it, and I've seen people who have modded GTA 4 to look like GTA 5. So if that's what they can do to GTA 4, what are they going to do to GTA 5? We're going to get a game that just looks ridiculously advanced if people mod it correctly, and that'll be really interesting to see how that comes out. I know it's technically already out, but to me, this is the game that I haven't played. It's coming out on PC this year. This is mostly a list of, well, I say it's mostly a list of PC games. It's not really, but a lot of them are PC-oriented games. But that is my number 4 slot. GTA 5. I feel like it's going to be a much better experience on PC. I see it as the definitive edition. I know people might disagree with me, but that's just my personal opinion. At number 3, we have another interesting game. This is Mario Maker, because a lot of people go, that's not a game. That's an editing tool. It's being able to make a Mario game. Not actually necessarily a game in itself, but I think it is a game, and it's being able to share levels with people and just create your own level using the engines that were used in New Super Mario Bros. U, which was a little bit slapdashed, I'll admit that, but it was still a fun game, and the co-op was really good. Being able to place blocks on the Wii U gamepad really worked well. Being able to make levels like that and make original sort of new Super Mario Bros. Original like NES style graphics as well. Being able to create levels like that. We've never really had an official Nintendo licensed editor either. So it'll be interesting to see that this is like the first real official Nintendo editing, software that we've ever been allowed access to. It's like they've just something like, why don't you just have a play at our engine that we used for New Super Mario Bros. U? Mess around with it, and it's a really cool concept. I think it's going to be really fun. I can see myself getting hours and hours out of that. If they build a really good community around it, people can download each other's levels, something like that goes on, then I think it's going to be a really good idea. Although I'm worried that they might charge a big lump sum for the game. This is what happened with Captain Toad, where it was like a concept from, it's almost like a mini game concept that was taken from Super Mario 3D World, and they want £30 for it, or $40 or whatever for it, and it's just like, why? I'm not even gonna, it's worth half that. Why would you charge such a amount? I know it's got a lot of levels, but it's just, I'm hoping that doesn't happen with this, and it's only a $20-30 game. But I don't know. Nintendo have a past of anything with Mario or Pokemon in the name, just like, it's a lot of money. Seriously, I remember when they released the Pokédex 3D Pro on the 3DS, and I was gullible enough to buy it, and it was really bad, and I paid £14 for it, and I seriously regret it. It's seriously $20, and it's just a really basic Pokédex, and I've got all the books and stuff, so it was a real waste of money. But there you go. That's just my opinion. Number 2, we have Dying Light. Now this is a really good game. it looks amazing. I've seen people playing early access versions of it or earlier beta sort of versions of it that have been allowed for people to do reviews and stuff. They've given out copies, but it doesn't officially come out to the end of January. I'm really interested to see because the open world, the parkour, the combat system looks interesting. There's a lot of cool crafting. You can craft like weapons that have electricity down them, and you can charge them and just electrocute zombies. I mean, who doesn't want to electrocute a zombie? Come on, just be honest with yourself for a second. It's a really interesting idea having this whole open world thing. I know people are like, yeah, it's made by the same people who did Dead Island 1 and 2. Yeah, they weren't that good games. I'm not going to lie. Dead Island 1 and 2 were pretty disappointing. Dead Island Riptide, I actually haven't played the original Dead Island. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people have been like, yeah, it's actually a pretty good game. Other people have been like, just don't waste your money on that game. It's really bad. But unfortunately, I haven't played the first one. I've only played the second one. The second one was really bad. Like, we're talking, it's a 12-hour game. It's an open world. It's really, really dull. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's just literally whacking zombies for 14 hours, and then by the time you get to the end, you're just like, oh, thank God, it's over. And then they end it with a cutscene. It's just like, really, you're gonna pull that? You're gonna pull that crap on us, really? But hopefully, I see Dying Light as a moving up, branching away. It's almost like it's a different game from Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 is going to be a different game. I'm thinking that they're going to sort of, almost like the development team's been split between these two games, and I'm hoping that the better team are working on Dying Light, because from what I've seen, Dying Light does look like it's a lot more fun to play. But who knows? Only time will tell if it's actually going to be a decent game. Number 1, a lot of people might have already guessed this, but it's just something that I'm super duper psyched for, and that is Zelda on the Wii U. This doesn't actually have a title, but it's a working title, should I say. That will probably get announced at some point. We'll probably get another full-on trailer for E3 this year. We've only really had a teaser trailer, and I don't know if that's actual gameplay. This could just be something they pre-rendered, like when they did when the Wii U came out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's showing off Zelda on the Wii U," and I was like, "Oh my God, it's a new Zelda game!" And then it was just like a cheap demo thing that they made, where there was a giant spider that fell through, and then there was a bomb menu on the gamepad, and it was like, "Oh my God, Wii U is going to be amazing!" And then they didn't bring it out for 3 years, and it's just like, okay, well, we just sit here like lemons for 3 years waiting for a Zelda game on the Wii U. Personally, home console Zelda games haven't really been that interesting to me. I know Zelda is at home on home consoles. That makes sense. But personally, my two favourite Zelda games are Zelda Spirit Tracks and Zelda Ocarina of Time, which was originally on a home console, but the 3DS version of it, where you could use the gyro to do slingshot, or I just felt like it was a much better enhanced version of the game. I thought it worked really, really well on a handheld. I just generally felt it just works better. But the Wii U version is going to be so open. It's going to utilize the capability of the Wii U, just being able to run at 60 FPS, 1080p. It's going to look amazing. It's got that really nice cartoony art style. It's taken from Wind Waker and Skyward Sword, and it's like a mixture of the two. It's just somewhere in the middle. It looks like it's going to be chronologically after the events in Skyward Sword, which is interesting. They're kind of doing what they did with James Bond with Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. They're sort of like, we've run out of ideas. We'll just carry on from the last one, and they're just sort of moving along at that pace. Who knows whether they'll start doing them chronologically now, whether they'll carry on in the normal order, or whether this is just going to be a separate game. From what I've heard, it is going to take place directly after Skyward Sword. That's what rumours are suggesting. I remember there's a massive thing about Zelda or Link being a girl in this game, and everyone was like, "Is Link got a ponytail?" And everyone was like, "Wait a second." But yeah, hopefully this game will be really, really good. It's an open world thing. People are saying it's going to be like Zelda meets Skyrim, and if that doesn't whet your appetite for the new Zelda game, I don't know what will, because it looks amazing. And they were like, everything you can see, you can visit, and there was just mountains in the distance. Oh, you can go over to those mountains. It's going to be like this massive thing. I'm wondering if, like some of the Zelda games, some of the dungeons can be done in their own order as well. So you can sort of do them in any order. You can say, oh, well, I'll do the fire temple last, or I'll do the water temple first, and whether they will get an item from doing that, and that item won't necessarily be needed to do another dungeon, or there will be a set number of dungeons you can do in any order, and then others that have to be done in a certain order. Obviously, you can't just skip to the final level first time, but there will be a group of them that perhaps you can do in any order. Who knows how it will work, but it looks like it's going to be a great game, and that is my most anticipated game for 2014. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down below. If you have your own list, also let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say. Obviously, like I said, the games like Witcher 3 and Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain are only not on my list because I haven't played any other games in the series. I'm sure they are great games. I'm sure they will be great games, should I say. But obviously, no previous experience with them, so I can't possibly, it wouldn't be fair for me to put them on this list as I haven't played them. But there you go, my top 5 anticipated games for 2014. Let me know what you thought down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Boop.